From the Saturday morning cartoon that practically raised a generation to a gritty black and white comic and even a blocky pixelated future, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have shapeshifted in ways you might not even remember. And while most of us grew up with the pizza-obsessed, catchphrase-slinging heroes of 1987, their story actually starts in a much darker, more violent place. So, today we're breaking down the complete evolution of the heroes in a half-shell, from their shocking origins to their most iconic moments across cartoons, movies, and games. Now, back in 1984, creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird scraped together what little money they had to self-publish a comic. And let's be clear, this was not a story for kids. The original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Mirage Studios was a dark, gritty, and violent parody of the popular comics of the time. Trained in the art of ninjutsu, the Turtles were honed by their master, Splinter, for a single purpose: to avenge his own master's death by killing the Shredder. And in the very first issue, they do exactly that. They were grim, they were lethal, and they were a universe away from the characters that would soon take over the world. Now, this black and white indie comic was a surprise hit, but its success was niche. To go mainstream, the Turtles needed a total reinvention. They needed to be a bit friendlier, they needed a toy line, and to get a toy line, they needed a cartoon. And this is where everything changed. This was the moment the Ninja Turtles went from a cult comic to a global cultural phenomenon. Now, to sell toys, the Turtles had to be kid-friendly, and the dark tone of the comics just wasn't going to fly. So, in a 5-part animated miniseries that first aired in December 1987, the world met a brand new version of the team. Now, these weren't vengeful fighters, they were fun-loving, pizza-powered good guys. And the series, which kicked off its full run in October 1988, completely redefined the franchise. It gave us the colour-coded bandanas, their now famous playful personalities, and an unending hunger for pizza. The villains got a makeover too. The once deadly Shredder became a comically clumsy bad guy, constantly failing thanks to his bumbling mutant henchmen, Bebop and Rocksteady. And honestly, the show felt more like a sitcom than an action series, with Shredder and the alien brain Krang suffering from serious villain decay as their threats got less and less scary over time. Now, the show's broadcast history was pretty unique. It started in syndication before making the jump to CBS's legendary Saturday morning block from 1990 to 1996, running for an incredible 193 episodes over 10 seasons. Now, the final 3 seasons, known as the Red Sky seasons, tried to get darker and more serious to keep up with the edgier cartoons of the mid-90s. But let's be real, for most of us, the 87 Turtles will always be those goofy, light-hearted heroes. Now, the show's influence was so huge that it actually ran into censorship in the UK and other parts of Europe. The word ninja was seen as too violent for kids' TV, so the show was renamed Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles, and every mention of ninja was dubbed over. Even Michelangelo's nunchaku were edited out of some early scenes and the intro because of worries about martial arts weapons. Now, this global explosion, Turtle Mania, was about to make the leap from TV to theaters. So, in 1990, the first live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie hit theaters, and it was a smash hit. It somehow managed to perfectly blend the fun-loving vibe of the cartoon with the slightly more serious feel of the original comics. The suits, created by Jim Henson's Creature Shop, were incredible, bringing the Turtles to life in a way that just felt real. Now, the movie's success led to 2 sequels, The Secret of the Ooze in 1991 and the bizarre time travel adventure Turtles in Time in 1993. And while neither of them quite captured the magic of the first film, they proved the Turtles were legitimate movie stars. At the same time, the Turtles were taking over a whole new world: video games. So in 1989, Konami dropped the legendary arcade game, a side-scrolling beat-em-up that let 4 friends team up as their favourite turtle. And it was followed by all-time console classics like Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo, which many still argue is one of the best beat-em-up games ever made. But by the end of the 90s, the turtle craze was running on fumes. The original cartoon was done and the franchise went quiet for a bit. But in 2003, the Turtles were back. The 4Kids Entertainment animated series was a huge shift from the 87 show. And this time, the creators went straight back to the source, the original Mirage comics. Now, the 2003 series was darker, way more focused on action, and told longer, serialized stories. A lot of the early episodes were just straight-up adaptations of comic book issues, bringing back storylines and characters the 87 show had completely ignored. Shredder wasn't a joke anymore, he was a genuinely terrifying and powerful villain. The show really respected its audience, trusting that the kids who grew up with the goofy cartoon were ready for a more mature take. And the show ran for 7 seasons and built a fiercely loyal fanbase that loved its faithful storytelling and deep character arcs. It proved that TMNT could be anything, a light-hearted comedy or a serious action drama. And this era also gave us the 2007 animated movie TMNT, which acted as a sort of follow-up to the live-action films, exploring what happened to the brothers after they had started to drift apart. In 2009, something happened that would change the Turtles' future forever. Nickelodeon bought the entire franchise, and this brought everything under one roof and set the stage for the next big evolution. So in 2012, Nickelodeon launched its own CGI animated series, and this show was a masterclass in balance, mixing the humor of the '87 cartoon with the action and heart of the 2003 series. It had a unique anime-influenced art style and put a huge focus on mutagen, constantly throwing wild new mutant characters at the team. The show was a massive hit, running for 5 seasons and introducing the Turtles to yet another generation of kids. Now during this period, the Turtles also made their return to live action with the Michael Bay-produced movies in 2014 and 2016. These were loud, action-packed blockbusters that made a lot of money but got a pretty mixed reaction from critics and longtime fans. Then came another animated reboot, 2018's Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and this series might be the most visually unique version ever, with incredibly fluid, fast-paced animation and a heavy lean into comedy. It totally reimagined the team, making each turtle a different species and giving them mystical weapons. While its TV run was short, it gained a passionate cult following that led to a feature film on Netflix. Just when you thought there were no new ways to tell the Turtles story, 2023 gave us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. Produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, the film absolutely blew everyone away. It got rave reviews for its stunning animation, which was designed to look like a teenager's sketchbook had sprung to life. But more importantly, it finally nailed the teenage part of the characters. For the first time ever, the Turtles were voiced by actual teenagers, and their dialogue felt real, awkward, and genuinely funny.
Pumping in my veins
what?
is crazy!
Superfly's making a deal with Bad Bernie's guys tonight in an hour under the Brooklyn Bridge.
We show up in Bernie's van with the goods, and boom! Superfly is caught in our web.
The film was a box office hit, pulling in over $180 million worldwide and hailed by many as the best Turtles movie ever made. Now, the Turtles' journey into video games is basically a tour through gaming history. From the 8-bit sprites of the first NES game to the 16-bit beauty of Turtles in Time, their games defined an era. And after those Konami classics, we got a bunch of games tied to the 2003 and 2012 shows. And recently, they've had a huge comeback with games like Shredder's Revenge, which perfectly recaptured that classic arcade feel, and the Cowabunga collection, which preserved all those old-school titles we absolutely loved. And now, the Turtles have officially invaded one of the biggest games on Earth. In August 2023, an official TMNT DLC dropped for Minecraft, and the pack lets you explore places like the sewers and Dimension X, fight classic bad guys, and play as the 4 brothers in all their block glory. It even includes skins from both the '87 cartoon and the Mutant Mayhem movie, connecting multiple generations of the franchise. But through all those changes, the heart of what makes the Turtles so special has never gone away. It's the story of 4 outcast brothers, a found family held together by loyalty and, of course, a love for pizza. So, what's your favourite version of the Turtles? Was it the show you grew up with, or one of the newer reboots? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you've had fun on this trip through Turtle history, make sure you subscribe for more dives into your favourite franchises. See you next time.